Hey y'all, K Divine coming back with another quick message. I want to just quickly talk about the difference between a narcissist and a toxic person. Because, especially in this day and age, not saying that narcissism isn't prevalent, because it absolutely is. Narcissism is a lot more prevalent than I think it ever well, I won't even say it ever has been. I think it is more detectable more than ever, but also I think it's because people are more awake now than we have been in recent history. I think that's also why some of the current events that have been happening in the world are happening right now. But everyone is not a narcissist. I do believe that because of the society that we live in, that a lot of people have narcissistic tendencies. But I think the key difference between narcissists and toxic people is that toxic people have the ability to self-reflect. And a toxic person can look at themselves, especially if they come into contact with somebody like you, someone who's honest, a chosen person. When you hold up that mirror, you're a mirror to people, right? We talked about that before. So you're a mirror to these people. When you come into this person, to toxic people's lives, and they try their manipulation and all that stuff, excuse me, excuse me, when they try their manipulation tactics and whatever it is that they do to hook people in they bullshit, when you leave or when you don't feed into their shit, it makes them stop and think about what they have done. They'll think like, dang, like, why did I do that? Or like, this person's not like other people. Because what a narcissist will do when you don't feed into their bullshit is they'll up the ante. They'll keep finding a way, an angle, something to get inside your brain to make you believe the bullshit that they're spewing out. And narcissists tell so many lies. Narcissists tell so many lies, they can't even keep up with them themselves, okay? Like, that's usually the narcissist's downfall. Because the narcissist has been going around telling so many lies on so many different people, and especially they be lying about themselves and how great they are. They really not that great. Most of them are mediocre on their best day. Okay, they may sound smart and stuff like that. They may even like to read and stuff like that, but they really not that smart. They're so smart they're dumb. Mommy So True says that all the time. Like, they're so smart they're dumb. Like, they're smart enough to get people hooked into their bullshit, but they're so dumb that they think that this is going to work 100% of the time. But toxic people, a toxic person can become not toxic. No, a narcissist can't not be a narcissist. A toxic person can go to therapy and come to the understanding and realization that they have some issues, that they are manipulative, that they are vindictive. They can come to that understanding and they can go through a healing process, because let's be honest, all of us have had some sort of toxicity in our past. We are not perfect. I can definitely tell you about some of my toxic tendencies. I'll just use this as an example. My dating life before I met my ex, my baby daddy. When I was dating people, I tended to date people who were not as intelligent as me. Now, my ex is not, my baby daddy's not as intelligent as me either. However, what he did have was enough intelligence, plus he made a little bit more money than me, and he was a little bit more established than anyone else that I had ever been with. So to me, it was a step up at the time. But that's a different story for a different day. But what I would do, especially, in my early 20s, I was dating people who were less intelligent than me. Why? Because I wanted to have some sort of intellectual control over the relationship. Because otherwise I didn't feel like I had control at all. 2, I was always the breadwinner. I always made more money. So I ended up taking care of these people a lot. Like, going out of my way to do stuff. And it was because I guess in the back of my mind, I was always hoping that one day they would step their shit up, and then they would want to take care of me in return for me holding it down for them. But I realized that most people like that allow you to, you know, take care of them, that allow you to go out of your way for them, they really don't. They really just want somebody to take care of them. They never gonna take care of you, right? So that was one of my toxic things. Like I always dated guys that were kind of dumb, because I always felt like I had control over, you know, intellectually. Like I liked feeling like the smartest one in the room. I knew I was the smartest one, and just being smarter than my man felt, I don't know why it felt good, but then it didn't feel good at the same time, because when it came down to making decisions and you want a man, for me, I want a man to lead the head of, you know, if we're in a relationship, I feel like the man should lead. That's just me. He can't lead if he doesn't know how to. You know, if he doesn't have the intellect to do so, he doesn't know how to properly lead the relationship. So of course the relationship was going to go nowhere. He may have not been taught by his father, or if his father was not around, he may not have any male role models that could teach him how to lead. And as a woman, I don't feel like it's like I can really teach you how to lead a relationship like that as a man. I'm not a man. I've never been one. So I don't think I had the right to do, you know, to tell him like what to do and how to do it. But that was definitely one of my toxic traits that I had as before my awakening. And so like I'm saying, like, toxic people can self-reflect. It took me a long time to come to that understanding of like why I was doing that. But I realized it's a generational curse. It's a pattern. A lot of the women in my family have dated and married men that were less intelligent than them, simply to just say that I got a man, simply just to be like, because I'm married, you know. And it's like, it's not fun being in that position, because it's like you're sitting in an empty relationship with a person, essentially a grown man child, who can't function without you being next to him, but you want him to lead the relationship, but he's not taking you anywhere. It's like the blind leading the blind. Like it's not going nowhere. So, you know, toxic people can reflect. They can go to therapy and become better. Narcissists can't. Well, I won't say can't, but the majority of them won't. I'll say they won't. Because there are some self-aware narcissists out here, like Lee Hammond. He's out here. There's a few others I can't think of by name. But there are some self-aware narcissists that are out here on social media platforms, and they talk about their tactics and things that they used to do before they started going to therapy and things of that nature. But the vast majority of people with narcissism will never go to therapy, because a lot of them really don't believe that anything that they're doing is wrong. They know that they're fucked up, but they find a way to justify how and what they're doing. Like how they're doing it and what they're doing. They find any way to justify it. Well, it's such and such's fault. Or, you know, they're so deep. They got multiple, like most of these people have multiple lives. You got to understand that too. Most of these people have multiple lives. They are, you know, they got a lot of secrets. I'm sure there are a ton of people now who are talking about down low narcissistic men. Like, you know, those are double lives. They got their girl as they beard, and then, you know, they be sleeping with their homeboys and other, you know, other potentially down low or just out gay men in a separate life somewhere across town, or sometimes just in private in their house. You know, so it's like, it's stuff like that. Like they don't want to have to come to terms with that, because if they came to terms with that, then that means that they would have to be out, and they would have to tell people that they're gay, and they don't want to tell people that they're gay, because they don't want their image to, because some of these people, you know, have the image of, oh, I'm such that dude, I'm such that nigga that I get bitches, blah 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 blah, and they don't need people finding out that they sleep with men, because then that would tarnish that whole I get bitches. They want to be that nigga, but they not that nigga. Like, and they gonna get fined. First of all, most down low men are going to get exposed from here on out, it's not gonna work down low, man. Just so you know, you're gonna get exposed eventually. Okay, uh, you're not as sneaky as you think. And if you're gay, just be gay. Okay, just be gay. Everybody not gonna accept you. That's just the way the world works. The rest of us got to deal with it, no matter what we going through. If you gay, just be gay, baby. It's okay. That's between you and your creator. That ain't got shit to do with nobody else. But stop bringing other people into y'all relationships and abusing people because you can't deal with your own sexuality. But see, that's what I'm talking about. These narcissistic people, they can't come to terms with the shit that they got going on. A closeted gay person who's toxic may eventually be able to come out and be their true selves, but a narcissistic gay person can't. They always gonna try to play straight. These people will get married. They will have children. They'll get married multiple times if they have to, and then keep that double life going. Toxic people don't always stay toxic. Now, some toxic people do stay toxic, but that doesn't make them narcissists. Some of them just don't want to change because they're comfortable. Some people are just comfortable in their toxicity. Some people go to their job that they hate every single day, but the reason why they go to that job that they hate every single day is because that job pays their bills just enough. They get enough money to pay their bills, to go to, the bar, whatever they little pastime is. They got enough money to do that. Have a nice dinner with they have a 1 or 2 date nights out of the month with their significant other. Take their kids on a nice vacation once a year, and that's good enough for them. That's simple enough for them, and they'll take that. They got a decent house and they live in situation. They don't have the fanciest car, but they have a decent car. That's a life of a lot of toxic people. They hate the life that they have, as far as like they don't get to do everything they want to do. They tired. They hate their job. They don't necessarily like their kids. They don't necessarily like their spouse. But they do all of that stuff because it's easy. That's toxic. To stay in situations and to be around people that you really don't like, having children that you don't really want to have, get married to people you don't really want to get married to, all that shit is toxic. Now, a person like that, though, can come to terms with that and say, you know what, I'm wrong for, marrying this person, and I'm going to take care of my kids because I chose to have them, and I need to deal with the reasons why I feel the way that I feel. Now, they can come to terms with that, but a narcissist never will. A narcissist will continue to have children that they don't need to have. They will continue to date people that they have no business dating. That's why you see like them older narcissists always trying to talk to younger girls, and it's like the older they get, it almost seems like the younger they be trying to talk to them. Like, it's like, you're 40 years old. Why are you talking to an 18-year-old? Get your ass away from that little girl. Like, what the hell is wrong with you? Go somewhere. Go find somebody to play with that's your age. That's that type of shit I'm talking about. So, a toxic person can change. And a lot of time, I feel like a lot of times there are toxic people who are willing to make changes in their lives. But a narcissist ain't gonna get better for the most part. Most of the time, they're gonna end up destroying themselves in the end. They gonna really end up destroying themselves. So, that was my message, y'all. Like, share, subscribe, please. Definitely subscribe. I'm seeing the views go up, but definitely subscribe to my channel, please. I love every single person who comes and likes and comments. I appreciate it so much. The channel's slowly growing, slowly but surely, and I appreciate it. Y'all stay tuned. I'm gonna come out with part 6 of my series sometime this weekend. I'm not sure when. Maybe I'll record it today. We'll see. Who knows? But I love y'all. It's your girl K Divine. I'll see you later. Bye.